This is my final Hot Toys Justice League figure. It's not my final Hot Toys figure, but it is my final Justice League figure. And this is Superman. This was the last one I got. And this one was delayed for, geez, I think it was probably a couple years. That's how long it took. But this is the one Hot Toys figure that I was not disappointed with at all. That doesn't mean it's perfect, but I wasn't disappointed. I think that the facial sculpt of Henry Cavill, um, it's not perfect. I don't know. I keep saying that with these Hot Toys figures. Um, it's definitely Henry Cavill, but I'm not sure it's perfect. The suit is fantastic. I love the texturing. I love how it kind of shines, and it is definitely maybe not completely the iconic suit. Maybe in my mind, the iconic suit would have the red tights, but um, it's certainly movie accurate. So I'll give him that. The feel of the cape is fantastic. I love everything about this. The shape. Well, there's a couple things that I don't love. First of all, the shoulders look a bit unnatural. Um, when you see Henry Cavill, particularly in the original Superman movie, the uh, the first one in this series, you look at him without his shirt on, you think, well, there's a guy who doesn't need padding for a costume, except he did have padding. I don't know how much padding he had, but he did have some padding. And I don't know if they put padding in here, if this is screen accurate, but it looks almost like um, football shoulder pads and not really how a proper shoulder should look. You see that? The other problem with this figure is that this is the only figure in the Justice League that is designed to be displayed in a flying position. So, for instance, here's a picture of him flying, and it's really hard to tell, but there is something gripping him there. And let me see if I can look at another picture. So there's another one, and you can see he's being held up by this clamp around the waist. Now, here's the thing, there is no way I'm going to have him posed with a clamp, even if the clamp isn't necessarily damaging it at that moment. What it does after a couple of years, I would probably be, there's no way I'm going to take that risk. And unfortunately, all the other figures, they have something that the figure will sit on, kind of a hook type thing, which that may cause some damage also, possibly. I don't know. But certainly clamping it is going to be a problem. So this is the only one I don't keep on the base. He stands really solidly. I'm not worried about him falling over at all, but I'm certainly not utilizing the the suggested method, or I wish they'd given an alternative way. I like my figures, particularly the 112 figures, to have something bracing them, but again, he's really well balanced, so um, he has no brace when I have him posed. The other problem is that his boots there, you could see a crease there and a crease there. The problem is that again, he's intended to be posed in a flying position, and if his boots were extended, you wouldn't see the crease, but then he wouldn't be able to stand. So this is something actually I'd seen another reviewer talk about, is the fact that um, that crease only goes away if his feet are pointed out. And so that's a little bit of a problem. But overall, I think this figure is fantastic. This is absolutely one. I don't know why. I guess in the movie they didn't have the S on the back. But I love the feel of this fabric. So nice. It feels heavy. but not too heavy. I like it a lot better than the fabric on the Batman figures. Everything on this, there's all sorts of accessories that go with it that I'm not using. But here's a close-up of his face. So just for fun, I always kind of look out here, Amazon. So it's selling. Oops, um, selling for $6.95. Is anybody gonna pay for $6.95? So that's new. You go on eBay. Here's what it's selling for: pre-owned, $310. I don't know what this price is. $355, $390. All of these are pre-owned. So that's definitely. So there's a brand new one, $522. It's definitely more than what I paid for it, but it's clearly keeping its value. So here's another picture of him. For some reason, I don't know why, so many of these pictures show him sort of in a flight, but without a brace. So I don't know what they did, because they must have held him up some other way, or I don't know, digitally removed the brace, because there is definitely a brace there. So I don't know how they took these photos, but I saw a ton of photos where he was in a flying stance. So there, yeah, obviously he could not, oops, he could not hold this pose without some kind of a brace. So I don't know what they did. But I would say that this, of all my Hot Toys Justice League figures, I would say that it's probably in order of my love of these figures. I'd say Superman is easily my favorite. Then probably the tactical suit Batman, and the regular suit Batman, Wonder Woman, and then probably last would be the Flash. I'm just not particularly a huge fan of all the alterations they made to the costume. And although the Superman costume is altered for the film, it's kind of very similar to what had been getting put out in the comics at the time, with the removal of the tights. And the texturing on here is just really, really cool. I love that texturing. It's film accurate. I don't know if I love everything. I don't know if you need all of that design, but that's what they did in the film. He definitely didn't miss leg day, although, again, this is likely to be padding and not all of Henry Cavill's musculature. So that's my final Hot Toys Justice League. I do have one more Hot Toy, and I'll show that later.